Representative Katie Porter is well known for going after CEOs of big companies. And she did the same thing at a recent hearing on drug costs. She busted out her trusty whiteboard and went to town. Let's take a look.
What I'm trying to understand from you is, how did the drug improve? If I were to look at a pill and analyze it from 2005 when it cost $215, and I was looked today at when it cost $763, would that pill be the same?
I understand your question about the pill. The manufacturing for it would be the same.
Great, thank you. So to put that in perspective, you hiked the price by $500 when the average Orange County senior only has $528 left in their bank account after they've paid their basic monthly expenses. The average Orange County senior can't even afford one pill.
All right, so she points out how incredibly overexpensive this pill is. And this, again, is Revlimid. And she had the CEO of the company that manufactures Revlimid. Look, she did a pretty good job of pointing out how not only is he overpaid and how the price is too high, but also the fact that there was actually no material improvement in what the drug actually did to justify the price. Now, how many times did they did they hike prices on this? 23 times. 23 times. That's just in 15 years. From 2005. It cost $250 a pill. Now it's $763. And that there was no benefit. It didn't get better, didn't work faster. They just found a bigger market. And of course, that's apparently enough justification for them to continue to raise prices on it. And so I'm going to get to another clip of Porter here, getting into CEO compensation. Take a look.
Do you know what this number is? Does it ring any bells?
I think you're referring to my compensation in some way.
Yeah, well, in some way. This was your compensation in 2017 for being CEO of Celgene. And that's a lot of money. It's 200 times the average American's income and 360 times what the average senior gets on Social Security. Mr. Ellis, in fact, the Oversight Committee found that if you hadn't increased the price of Revlimid, you wouldn't have gotten your bonus. Mr. Ellis, do you know how much you personally received in bonuses over 2 years, the last 2 years, just because Celgene raised the price of this one drug, Revlimid?
I receive very generous compensation, but I don't know the exact number that you're referring to.
In fact, you personally received $500,000 personally just by tripling the price of Revlimid. So to recap here, the drug didn't get any better. The cancer patients didn't get any better. You just got better at making money. You just refined your skills at price gouging.
Damn. Oh, I love it. I absolutely love it. So, look, this is why a profit motive doesn't belong in healthcare. Now, I love how defenders of the system will say things like, but you don't understand, you need a profit motive for innovation. You have to, absolutely have to have it. Okay, I can understand a small profit motive, okay, because it's a corporation. That exists in other countries, right? Where you have a small profit motive, but you're not allowed to price gouge like we do here in America. I mean, the evidence points to how there is little to no innovation made by these same companies that charge an arm and a leg for these medications. A lot of the innovation is actually done by universities. And Porter actually points out later on in the same hearing that the taxpayer actually funded this medication to the tune of $3.3 billion. So where's our return on investment? Instead, they turn around and sell the drug at $763 a pill. And this is just one example, one out of so many. Look, they love to charge the insurance companies, and that's who's mostly paying for this, by the way. Insurance companies will get charged this much money meaning the American taxpayer, or I'm sorry, the average American person doesn't actually pay the list price up front, and that's again what they tried to, that CEO tried to say in this hearing as well. But understand that the insurance pays for that drug, but the insurance passes the cost down to you. Have you ever seen the picture or meme with the birds that, you know, there's a tiered hierarchy of birds. There's one on the top and then it goes down. And every bird under the top one is covered in shit. That's kind of how this works. That's what's happening here. Okay? You've got basically the people on the top, the corporations, the politicians, etc., shitting on you. And it goes all the way down. And so you're a taxpayer. You're also the consumer, okay? And you have to pay for the drug, not only, you know, for the drug to do the research and development to the tune of billions of dollars, but also you then have to also pay for this through your taxes for people on Medicaid or and Medicare who also pay for this drug that are getting charged $763 a pill. Also, this asshole can make $13 million in compensation. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. The U.S. has actually the highest spending per capita on medications among nearly a dozen high-income high-income countries. That's our system. That's our system. But look, it doesn't have to be this way. I mean, what we have to do is we've got to get some control over these prices. And I think, for me personally, getting the profit motive out of healthcare would be a great start. These companies do not charge other governments the way that they charge us. Why? It's the same drug, same manufacturers, but they pay a lot less than we do in this country. And the reason is, again, the government actually has some method of, you know, being able to control those prices. And usually the vehicle for that is a national healthcare system. Their government will say, no, we're not going to pay your exorbitant price. We're not going to pay your ransom for these drugs. We're actually going to come to a mutually beneficial agreement. You can get a little bit of profit motive, and we can get the medications that our citizens need at a fair price. We're not going to allow you to jack up the price and price gouge our citizens. Unlike in America, where we're like, yeah, no, go ahead and price gouge, and we don't care. LOL, free market. Now, again, that's how a national healthcare system works, is where the government has enough leverage to be able to negotiate fair drug prices with these companies. That's what we would get with the Medicare for All system, the ability to negotiate. We don't even have that. And by the way, we're not going to get that with Joe Biden either. Understand, Joe Biden's healthcare plan is a half measure. It is not single payer. It is not universal healthcare. That said, we're going to get worse under Republicans because they have no healthcare plan. They're literally the ones that say, oh, no, we actually would encourage you to price gouge because, you know, that's how you make money. Now, though, of course, Donald Trump will give lip service to it, and he'll sign toothless executive orders, which he already has, and it will do literally nothing to solve this problem. Nothing. And a lot of it's because of the stranglehold they have in our system through lobbying or organized bribery. And so that's why we need to have truly universal health care and to get the money out of politics. Now, until we do that, of course, we've got to have a system where we are powerful enough to take on the lobbyists in the pharmaceutical industry. Now, we're not doing this to punish people, punish corporations, or punish business owners. No, it's to tamp down in this greed and to lower prices for everyone. There's literally no reason why we need to have a system that costs so much for people who have diabetes to get their insulin. It shouldn't be this way. We shouldn't be able to have what's that guy? Pharma Bro? We shouldn't have people like that be able to get away with what they were getting away with. Causing national outrage, by the way, and those companies still continue to price gouge the American people. Katie Porter, and this is why it's important that she does what she does. She's literally bringing this to light, and she's pointing out the absolute greed of this system. spelling it out, breaking it down for the average person to understand. Because when more people understand exactly how they're screwing us, more people can rally to change that system. Look, we've seen it. Democratic primary, most people agreed. Most of the voters, even if they didn't vote for Bernie Sanders, really wanted Bernie Sanders' healthcare plan, Medicare for all. And were willing to, of course, to accept the public option because their first thing was to, of course, get Donald Trump out of office. Barring that, though, they do want a healthcare system that is truly universal in order to stop this rampant greed. And so I love that she's doing this, and I can't wait to see her next takedown. But really, what's most important is not just the takedowns, but seeing any sort of congressional or public action in order to stop the greed. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like and share with your friends. You can subscribe and help out the channel by becoming a patron. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf, or you can become a channel member as well by hitting the join button below.